Pushing yourself is not about being reckless or hustling 24/7s. It's about choosing growth over comfort every single day. Most people never reach their full potential not because they don't have the talent, but because they give themselves too many excuses to stay exactly where they are. The truth is, nothing in your life will change unless you push yourself to make it happen. And that push doesn't have to be massive. It can be small, consistent acts of courage. It can be waking up 30 minutes earlier, sending that email you've been avoiding, saying no to something that drains your energy. That push is you taking back control. When you decide to push yourself, you stop waiting for life to hand you an opportunity, and instead you begin creating them. Most people believe that successful individuals are born with some magic, extra confidence, extra discipline, or some secret luck. But that's not how it works. Success comes from pushing yourself when no one's watching. It comes from doing the work, especially when you don't feel like it. Think about this. The moment you say, "I'll do it later," you've lost power. The only way to take your power back is to act now. Push yourself through resistance. Push yourself past fear. Push yourself out of the same loop you've been stuck in. The difference between the person you are now and the person you want to become is action. And action always starts with a push. Not inspiration, not motivation, just a push. You'll never feel ready. That's the part no one tells you. Your brain is hardwired to protect you. It wants you to stay safe, to avoid anything uncertain or uncomfortable. So when you decide to do something big, start a business, go to the gym, change your habits, your mind will resist. It'll feed you lies like you're not ready or you'll fail anyway. That's when you push. That's when you count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Because if you don't interrupt that thought pattern in those 5 seconds, your mind wins. You stay stuck. But if you push even just a little, you create momentum. That momentum builds confidence. And that confidence reinforces action. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we need to feel motivated to act. But that's not how it works. You act first. The motivation comes second. Pushing yourself teaches your brain a new truth, that you can do hard things even when it's uncomfortable. That lesson rewires how you approach your goals. You stop relying on emotion and start relying on intention. You create discipline, and discipline creates results. You start showing up with consistency. And when you do that, things begin to shift. The opportunities you used to dream about, they start showing up because you're finally showing up for yourself. Pushing yourself is a decision. It's not about being fearless, it's about choosing to move forward despite fear. You can push through fear with action. You can push through laziness with a decision. You can push through failure with effort. Each time you push, you are proving to yourself that your goals matter more than your comfort. That's how you build a new identity, by stacking small wins, by choosing courage over convenience. And it all starts with that moment of decision. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to show up and hand you the life you want. That's on you. And that's not a burden. It's your power. You get to design your life. You get to decide how you respond to setbacks, how hard you're willing to work, how committed you are to your goals. You get to say, enough is enough, and push yourself forward. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Give it to yourself. Push yourself and make it happen. Because the life you want is on the other side of that push. You have more power than you think, but power means nothing if you don't use it. Every day you have a choice to stay where you are or to take one step toward who you want to be. Pushing yourself is not about being extreme. It's about making a conscious choice to lean into the discomfort that comes with change. The mind wants to protect you. It wants predictability. That's why doing something new feels hard, even scary. But here's the truth. The things that scare you are usually the very things that will grow you. The fear isn't a stop sign. It's a signal that you're entering a zone of growth. If you want to make something happen in your life, you need to stop negotiating with your limitations and start challenging them. When you push yourself, you build self-trust. You prove to yourself that your goals matter enough to act on them. Think about the promises you've made to yourself. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll get to it when I have time"? Every time you break a promise to yourself, you chip away at your own confidence. But when you push through the resistance and keep those promises even in small ways, you begin to rebuild that trust. That trust is the foundation of confidence. And confidence is what allows you to keep pushing, even when things get hard. Nobody gets stronger by staying comfortable. Strength comes from resistance. Growth comes from challenge. You don't learn who you are by avoiding adversity. You learn who you are by facing it head on. The uncomfortable truth is that most people avoid doing the work because it's hard. But that's exactly why you need to do it. The hard things are what shape you. Waking up early, having the tough conversation, staying committed when you don't see results. That's where transformation lives. And you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to push a little further each day. One more rep, one more page, one more hour of focus. That's how goals are built, brick by brick. People often think motivation is something magical that arrives to carry them into action. But Mel Robbins teaches the opposite. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you wait for it, you'll never build anything consistent. What you need is a strategy, a way to interrupt your own excuses and take control of your behavior. That's why tools like the 5-second rule are so powerful. It bypasses the mental chatter and puts you back in the driver's seat. Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And act. No thinking, no stalling. Just movement. That's the push. And once you move, your mind catches up. You feel better not because the task got easier, but because you acted. Momentum changes everything. The more you push yourself, the more capable you become. You begin to see that you are not a prisoner of your past. You are not stuck in your habits. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You have the power to redefine what's possible. But that only happens when you stop letting fear and doubt make your decisions. You have to be the one who decides, "I'm not waiting anymore." You have to be the one who chooses progress over perfection, effort over excuses. Because when you push, you don't just move forward, you expand. You grow your capacity, your mindset, your belief in yourself. Your goals don't need to be perfect. Your plans don't need to be flawless. What they need is your commitment, your daily effort, your decision to show up and do the work. You won't always feel like it. That's normal. But those moments when it's hardest to push, that's where your future is built. That's when you're shaping the strongest version of yourself. So when you feel the urge to quit, to delay, to shrink back into comfort, don't. Pause, count down, push. Because what's waiting on the other side is the life you keep saying you want. But no one is going to hand it to you. You've got to make it happen. And it all starts with you pushing yourself forward. Every single day you're faced with choices. Some are small and seem insignificant, like whether to hit snooze or get up. Others feel big, like changing your job or pursuing a dream. But here's what no one tells you. Those small choices build the foundation of your life. And if you don't push yourself to make the right ones, the easy ones will take over. The easy path is always waiting for you, comfortable, familiar, and safe. But it never leads to greatness. If you want to achieve something that matters, if you want to break through and live a life you're proud of, you have to get used to doing things that are uncomfortable. You have to stop negotiating with yourself and start demanding more from yourself. When you push yourself, you begin to separate from the crowd. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, go through the motions, and wonder why nothing changes. But the people who push themselves, they live with intention. They know that growth requires discomfort. You want to get in shape? You push through the workout, even when your body says stop. You want to build a business? You make the calls, even when you feel like a fraud. You want to change your habits? You stay consistent, even when it's boring or hard. That push, that decision to move when it would be easier not to, is the difference between staying stuck and leveling up. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. When you push yourself, you're telling your brain, this matters. That repetition builds a new belief, and beliefs drive behavior. If you believe you're capable, you act like it. If you believe it's possible, you fight for it. But belief doesn't just show up. It's built. It's earned through the daily push, the daily effort, the moments you show up for yourself when no one else sees it. That's where real confidence is born. Not from praise, not from external validation, but from knowing deep down that you did the hard thing, even when it would have been easier not to. One of the hardest things in life is to push forward when you don't see immediate results. You'll have days when it feels like nothing is working. You'll wonder if all the effort is even worth it. But this is where most people give up, right before the breakthrough. The results don't always come fast, but they always come if you stay consistent. The push doesn't always give you what you want right away, but it always moves you forward. Progress compounds, momentum builds. The work you're doing today might not show up tomorrow, but it will show up. You just have to keep pushing. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It says, I'm not going to let temporary feelings dictate my future, and pushing yourself is how you develop that discipline. You get up even when it's hard. You follow through even when it's uncomfortable. You act even when you're afraid. Every time you do that, you're reinforcing a powerful message. You are in control. Not your fears, not your past, not your circumstances, you. And that mindset will carry you through any challenge. There's always a reason not to. Always a reason to wait, to stall, to tell yourself it's not the right time. But that's the trap. You wait for clarity. You wait for confidence. You wait for the perfect moment. And while you wait, your life stays the same. But the truth is, clarity comes from action. Confidence comes from doing. And the perfect time? It doesn't exist. The only way forward is through. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to know how it's all going to work out. You just need to take the next step. And then the next. And then the next. Pushing yourself is the secret. It's the bridge between who you are now and who you're meant to be. It's not a one-time event. It's a way of living, a choice you make every single day. To get up, to show up, to do the hard thing, to silence the voice in your head that says, not today, and replace it with a new one that says, let's go. Your dreams are possible. Your goals are valid. But no one else can make them happen for you. You have to be the one who decides. You have to be the one who pushes. And if you do, if you commit to that push, there is no limit to what you can achieve. At some point, you have to stop waiting and start creating. You have to stop blaming and start building. Life is not a rehearsal. It's happening right now. And if you don't take charge of your time, your energy, and your direction, it will pass you by. That's why pushing yourself isn't optional. It's essential. Because without that internal drive to grow, to challenge yourself to do more than what's comfortable, you will always be at the mercy of your circumstances. When you push yourself, you break free from that cycle. You send a clear message to yourself and to the world. I am not settling. I am not finished. I am becoming something greater. The hardest part is often starting. That first step feels like a mountain. Your brain will do everything it can to convince you to wait. It'll say you're not ready, that you're too tired, that today's not the day, but those thoughts are just noise. Leftover programming trying to protect you from risk. You don't need to feel like doing it, you just need to do it. Because action leads to clarity, action leads to belief, action leads to results. That's why pushing yourself matters so much. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. Take that first step and trust that momentum will meet you on the other side. Every time you push, you're developing grit. You're learning how to be resilient. Not just when things are going well, but especially when they aren't. Life doesn't care about your excuses. Life is going to test you. It's going to throw challenges your way. People will doubt you. Setbacks will happen. And if you don't have the inner strength to push through that adversity, you'll fold. But when you've built that muscle, when you've made a habit of pushing yourself through the discomfort, you become unshakable. You stop reacting emotionally to problems and start responding with purpose. You stop getting thrown off track by failure and start using it as fuel. You are always shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. Every decision you make is casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. So if you choose ease, distraction, avoidance, that's who you're becoming. But if you choose effort, discipline, movement, that's who you're becoming too. There's no neutral. You're either getting stronger or you're slipping backward. That's why pushing yourself every day, even in the smallest ways, matters, because those small pushes compound. They build a new identity, and that identity becomes your reality. You don't need motivation. You need a standard. You need to decide who you are and then act like it. Motivation is a feeling, but standards are behaviors. If you hold yourself to a higher standard, even when no one is watching, you start living with integrity. And when you live with integrity, you create alignment between your words and your actions. That alignment is powerful. It gives you peace. It gives you focus. It gives you momentum. But none of it happens unless you're willing to push through the resistance and do what you said you would do, especially when it's hard. There is power in following through. There is power in consistency. And the truth is, the life you want isn't going to be handed to you. You have to build it. You have to earn it. That means showing up again and again, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when progress feels slow. Pushing yourself doesn't mean burning out. It means staying committed. It means adjusting your approach but never your vision. It means reminding yourself why you started and choosing to keep going anyway. You can either make excuses or make progress, but not both. And right now, you have a choice. Are you going to let your fears and doubts decide your future? Or are you going to take control, take action, and push yourself to create something greater? No one else can do it for you. This is your life. This is your moment. And if you want it, you have to push for it. You have to show up, dig deep, and do the work. Because you are capable. You are powerful. And the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is the push you've been avoiding. So stop waiting, start pushing, and make it happen.